Just before we get started though, Tavi, I have a plug to do. Next month, we're celebrating the month of July with John July, where we will be looking at 4 John Woo movies, one each week, from the legendary director, John Woo. So look forward to that. The videos will be on YouTube, and I will put the audio on Spotify. But if you haven't watched one of our Jackie January episodes, it's going to be the similar vibe to that. So check out the videos. They'll be a lot of fun. All right, on to the reviews. All right, let's talk about another Netflix Korean in quotation marks thing.
I'd say the production. This is more of American production.
Yeah, it is.
I think
It is.
Yeah.
With the backdrop of Korea. So this is KPop Demon Hunters. It is an American animated musical, fantasy, action, comedy film produced by Sony again and released by Netflix. Directed by Maggie Tang and Chris Applehans. So KPop Demon Hunters centers around...
I mean, that's the premise, right?
Pretty much.
KPop Demon Hunters, it's right there.
So, I mean, to be honest, the lore kind of washed over me, and I wasn't really paying that much attention to when they were explaining how their world works. But here we go. There are 3 girls in a K-pop group called Huntrix. So the girls are Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. So they are K-pop idols by day, but they are also demon hunters. So under the guidance of their mentor, Celine, they hunt demons to protect their world. So the demons, they feed on the souls of people, I guess. And there's there's a barrier that keeps the demons out of the real world generally. And Huntrix uses fighting and also the power of song to consolidate that wall and keep the demons from entering the world, basically.
But there's this big the Honmoon thing, which I also didn't.
So the Honmoon
really
is the wall.
Yeah.
I think the Honmoon is the wall that divides the 2 worlds. So that weakens from time to time, and they have to strengthen it by singing and also fighting.
But apparently they, for some reason, they are the ones that are going to seal it off for good, I guess. So yeah, that was just said we can forever be free until we're not.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But that's
point.
That's next generation's K-pop Demon Hunters jobs to worry about.
So again, not really a spoilery movie, this one, but if you want to watch it, maybe go to somewhere else, go watch it before coming back to here.
Very simple film. And a film that I didn't think...
We were very skeptical about this film.
We were super skeptical. I saw the trailer for this movie a few months ago, and I was this looks like garbage.
It looks like slop.
I saw it. It looks like slop. I'm just oh my God.
Looks like American pandering to the Asian audience, trying to capitalize on the growth of the K-pop movement in the West, and just churning out some slop.
Yeah, and even though I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie, I would still sacrifice this movie not being made for a better Lost in Starlight. But anyway, this movie was made. But no, I was walking in, I was expecting to really hate this movie. And I think I tried jumping into this movie maybe 2 or 3 times. And the first 10, 15 minutes of this movie, I was very, very resistant. There was just so much I didn't like about this movie.
So you get the typical opening where Huntrix is introduced and they're being all badass, and they've got their badass song, How It's Done, I think it's called. It's like a Blackpink style, aggressive track.
I think there's just so much, I'm just going to call it Gen Z iconography in this movie that really irked me. It's all about followers. It's about looking at your phone all the time. And then it's all about really loud, annoying humor, very... key jangling.
Yeah, Ken Jeong is doing that type of humor that you hate, where somebody will say something and then he'll say the same thing is happening.
Yeah. And I was just I was even messaging you. I was man, I'm watching this and I'm really not enjoying it. And you're just I actually like this movie. What? That's quite surprising. I didn't believe you at first, but it took me a couple of days because I was busy with some other stuff, and then I finally sat down and all right, we're talking about this movie, so I better sit down and watch it. And there's a point where the movie just becomes much better. It's when the villains actually come to the forefront and they take the form of the K-pop boy band. Saba?
The Saja Boys.
Saja, yeah. And they have Soda Pop, which is it is such a BTS song.
Yeah.
That like and it's actually quite catchy as well.
Yeah.
Like I can
That's
kind
the
of hear
thing,
it
like,
in my head at some
I
point.
think the thing that I enjoyed about this film is that it feels self-aware in the way that they portray like boy bands like the Saja Boys. Like they're obviously kind of a parody, I guess, of K-pop boy groups. Like you got the pretty one, you got the guy that's covering his face with his hair, the Daesung of the group.
And there's one who's got like just like really thick abs, the Taekyon of the group.
But it's kind of heightened to the point where it's like kind of gross and like not very cool, but at the same time, like the song is actually pretty earnest as well. Like it skirts this line of being a very earnest portrayal, but also almost being satire.
I get what you mean, definitely.
Yeah.
And speaking of the music in general, I was very surprised by the songs in this film.
There's some fucking bangers in this movie, Tommy.
Like, because I think I first heard about this movie when Twice said they were doing a song.
Yeah.
And even though I knew Twice was attached to it, I was like, yeah, the movie still looks kind of shit. Like, I love Twice, but like, you know, I'm not going to say everything that they do or attach themselves to is going to be really good. But on the other hand, I'm really sorry, Twice. I doubted that you'd be part of
Unbelievable.
That was actually.
I can't believe you doubted them.
I'm a disgusting human being.
So they worked on the song. What's it called?
Takedown.
Takedown.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, pretty good song.
And the Strategy makes an appearance in this song.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second highest song according to the Huntrix universe. Huntrix is way better than Twice according like they're
it's like the songs in this movie are better than they have any right to be. Like they could have really half-assed these songs, but like there's some good songs. Golden is really good, which is like the main Huntrix song. There's like a duet between the main one, Rumi and Jinu of the Saja Boys is a duet, and I really enjoyed that. Song. There's a song that the Saja Boys sing, Your Idol. It's like their evil song. They're singing about how idols keep fans obsessed and become everything that they desire to help them cope with the misery of the world. They're like, anytime it hurts, play another verse. That's some nuanced shit, Tavi. Nuanced shit. And again, it skirts this line of being really earnest, but also kind of parody, which I really enjoyed, and I was fascinated by it.
Well, I think the people that made this movie like actually like K-pop, right? Or they. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any behind the scenes.
The songs were written by like some K-pop people and some people that work in that industry. Like Danny Chung, Jae is like a Korean musician who did the voice of Rumi during those songs. So it's a different voice cast when they're singing and when they're acting. Also, Andrew Choi does some vocals for Jinu. So like they're people.
Andrew Choi?
I mean, he's also a Korean musician. I think he was on one of those game shows where they select the next best Korean singer or whatever. So they're all people that I haven't really heard of, but they're all like professionals within this space. So to get these people in to not only write the songs but also perform the songs, I think makes a lot of sense. Like you're not getting like huge names. You're not getting fucking Lalisa or Rosé or something. But you're still getting quality work, you know?
You're getting Twice, right? Are they the scraps?
I mean,
in the K-pop universe?
the three members of Twice that they got, some might consider scraps. Not me, Tavi. I adore all of them, but some people might.
Well, I didn't think that. Why did you bring that up?
I don't know, Tom. No, I really like them. Jeonyoung, Jihyo, and Chaeyoung. I like that they chose these three to do that song because they seem like the most aggressive of the three members.
They got the most aggressive. It wouldn't work. Like a Miss Summer version maybe wouldn't work unless... Because it depends on the characters, because the characters are sort of more like westernized, even though they are Korean.
Yeah.
But I will have to say this about the characters. I thought I was going to find them like super grating because I don't usually like these sort of characters.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I was on board with like all of them after a point. I guess their attitude or their toughness is balanced enough with enough vulnerability, and I think there's enough of Rumi's spoilers. She's like a half demon, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you don't really know that origin.
She's got the tattoo markings of a demon.
Yeah.
And she's trying to hide it. Luckily, she's working in Korea, so, they cover up, I guess. So she's been able to hide it for 16 years or 18 years or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't work as Western. No. Oh, actually, no. If it was the West, they just wouldn't care. It's like, oh, yeah, you flaunt that thing.
Yeah, people would just think they're bad tattoos.
Yeah. I mean, like, for a movie that you and I are clearly not the target demographic of, like, the message is quite simple and it's quite clear. And I think it's a fine message, like, don't hide yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it works in a way that Rumi and the others, they aren't like OP. Let's just say, I don't know, live action Mulan, for example. So she is actually sort of learning something and figuring out stuff on her own.
Yeah.
I also have to give props to Lee Byung-hun as well. He's just ancient fire demon.
Plays Guima.
If there is a sequel to this, that they show more of who Guima is, because I think giant fire demon.
It's not very interesting.
It's probably a little bit lazy.
Yeah,
it's just a giant.
I was really hoping he'd like take a human form, and it's just Lee Byung-hun with his shirt off, and it's like it's just Storm Shadow rocks up.
Yeah.
Starts beating on them. That would have been more interesting to watch.
It would have been like a stronger climax, but that doesn't happen. But maybe, I don't know. Like, this film definitely can sort of lead itself to a sequel, and there's definitely much more to expand, because there's still some questions that are unanswered, like who is Rumi's father, because she clearly has some demon blood in her. Maybe, who knows, maybe they'll connect it with Devil May Cry.
Yeah, maybe.
Which I actually think this story is actually better than Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Handles it better. I think that the medium tells that story better, because it's not a hyper violent, action show. But that being said, the action animation is quite fun to watch as well. Again,
it's not our favorite kind of art style, but I think the choreography kind of carries it through. Yeah,
and like this movie, I would say that it has more violence than Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
that's on the scale there. Like, a little bit more, a bit more of a body count. Like, at least when the girls fight, they are aiming to kill, not just incapacitate.
And for all we know, they are killing these demons.
Oh no, they're killing these demons, and that's sort of might be a criticism towards the end of during the climax. Actually,
they just kill the Sergeant boys
because, like, look, there's this whole sort of side plot that's featuring what's his face, Jinu, where, like, he said, like, look, demons, they start off as people first, but then it's just with their shame and they can't get over it, and then they're being controlled by Lee Byung-hun, Guima.
Yeah.
So, but then
they're controlled by anxiety, Tavi, and the voices in their heads. It's a metaphor.
Yeah. But then, like, he sacrifices himself, and even though his story is still sort of not that concluded, he sort of forgives himself, because you find out he sort of, like, did something dodgy in, like, old school Korea, where he abandoned his family and then got to demon and got rich and shit.
I like that
but
twist.
After that
I like that he wasn't really that good a guy in the end.
Yeah, he isn't that good a guy. But after that, it's kind of like, I think they sort of established, demons like not as bad or something. But then they just kill them.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like, I'm gonna kill you now.
It's Kimetsu no Yaiba rules, Tavi. You get the backstory and they get humanized, but at the end of the day, you gotta kill them. You gotta kill the demons, Tavi.
You gotta kill the demons.
There was a point in this film where I thought it was going to kind of take maybe not a darker approach, but maybe more of like an adult approach. Like when Rumi is kind of outed as being a half demon, and she's kind of, it's a lost it all kind of moment. She goes talk to Celine, which is her like mentor and stuff. And Celine's like, just hide it. You just got to hide it for a bit longer. We can undo all this stuff. And that's when Rumi decides like, fuck you, I'm not hiding it anymore. And like the, what's it called? The Hon moon totally gets like taken away. So like the way that they're talking, it kind of seems like the Hon moon is like society's perceptions or society's ideals, I guess. And the idea of getting rid of that so that people can be themselves, it kind of like, it makes a lot of sense, especially in like the context of like a country like South Korea, where everything is very like I don't want to say superficial, but kind of superficial. You know, you have to kind of
when it
act a
comes to
certain way.
like K-pop fans, I guess.
Yeah. So the allegory really works well, I thought. But then at the end, they just kind of make a new Honmoon, which, I didn't feel was like as strong an idea.
I reckon that would have been a cool idea, a much better thematic idea. But I feel like the general audience probably would see like the movie is talking maybe shit about them somehow. Like at the end of the day, when you don't have control of yourself, you're just a bunch of vicious demons. Yeah.
Well, because they were trying to humanize the demons a bit in Genu, it seems like that was the way that they were going, like kind of merge the two realms. Why not? Because, demons are just people that have anxiety, basically. And like,
I think it's too nuanced.
Yeah.
I think that was too nuanced,
Yeah,
and it would confuse people. The general target of this films, the general target audience, they need like a conclusive idea, like a simple idea.
Yeah, they need bad versus good, I guess. But, like it felt like the writers, they had an understanding of how like K-pop works and how this industry in particular works. And I guess that kind of makes sense because they're kind of in it, right?
Well, except the fact that the three leads, they are writing the songs, choreographing the songs.
But the overwork factor is there, although it is played off with a really light tone. But it's there, and I like the fact that after the Saja boys are killed, all their shit's in the bin. Like all of their fan shit is just in the bin at the end of the movie, because that's how fickle K-pop fans are.
Kind of K-pop fans. I think that was another big skepticism of me going into this film, because like at this current space, I like listening to K-pop, and I like the groups that I have grown accustomed to. I don't like K-pop as an ideal. Is that the word? As a community,
the fandom sucks. It sucks being in that space with them.
I was wondering if this movie was gonna go more into the war of the fandoms, because it might be interesting if there were still some leftover Saja fans, and then they just like start a sort of like an underground resistance or something. Like I wanted them to explore the toxicity of fandoms, because because you and I we've done some K-pop videos, but I think you and I just only really do IU and Twice videos now. I just don't really enjoy talking about K-pop anymore, and I don't like who it attracts. So it just sucks.
I mean, I think reaction videos generally are fine because people are there to watch their favorite artists, basically. But when like we did a news item on New Jeans, the New Jeans situation, and that was like, that comment section was a bit of a cesspool by our standards anyway. So like, it is a real negative space sometimes. But again, this isn't the movie to explore that, I guess.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's my trepidation. I didn't want anything that glorified K-pop fans. And I think the parts I don't like about this movie are anything to do with the fans.
Yeah.
Because I just find all of the fans in this movie just really annoying. Like, I just hate them all. Just like, like, you're probably not a very good person.
I feel like if Rumi was outed as a demon, she would have gotten a lot more hate from the fans.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I kind of find unrealistic. It's just like, I feel like fans would just like,
there would have been all these YouTube videos where the thumbnail is like Rumi's face, like a really unflattering screenshot of Rumi's face, and like
Rumi has gained weight since like fans say, Rumi's airport fashion, is she like a fucking demon or something? Like, take a look at this. Rumi has no makeup. She's a fucking demon or whatever. It's just like, it's just so I hate. It's funny because a lot of K-pop's music and a lot of the themes, it's all about. Well, it's not all about this, but the idea is that it's usually very optimistic. It's an empowering message, right? And I think that's what the image that Huntrix goes for. It's quite empowering. And that's cool and all. And it festers, not wrong, maybe it is the right word, but it sort of builds a community for them to grow. But there's no camaraderie between K-pop fandoms.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've talked to you off air a lot about the times where I'll be wearing like a band t-shirt from a gig, and I'll be stopped. Like, oh yeah, sick. Like listened to such and such, and I always have such nice reactions with those people, with metal fans.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the themes are all about death and all very heavy stuff, but there's such a nice community.
It is a nice community. You did a video with Angel reacting to Knocked Loose, and the comments in that are super nice.
It's so positive. I love the metal community. Yeah. I want to do more of those videos. It's just a much nicer interaction between people. It's not about who versus who.
Yeah.
But K-pop, and honestly, even in this movie, it is this group versus this group.
Yeah.
Essentially, it is very much what happens in K-pop. It's not like, hey, you know, we both like the same bands. Why don't we just listen to the music together? It's like, no. It's either you like this group and they're the best, and if they're not, then they're fucking shit and they should be killed. And they are, bitch. They are killed. Like Saja is killed.
Yeah, that's true.
They're dead. They're dead. The fandom, their favorite idol group, they killed the fandom.
They killed the fandom. Their shit gets chucked in the bin and they're forgotten. They're just forgotten the next day.
They might be demons, but you know, Soda Pop is a catchy song. That's just like, nah. I don't want anything to do with them. They're dead. They're forgotten.
Yeah.
Chuck their shit in the bin. Who cares? You know, kind of thing. And maybe the next one should like explore that a bit more. Just the idea of like forgotten fandoms.
Yeah.
I want the next K-pop Demon Hunters to go like full Najatu. just
oh, that would be
jump
good.
Straight into the deep end.
That would be good.
And just have a massive epic like fight scene, and Guima comes human form, and there's this really well choreographed action scene. I'm not sure if the fans of the show would like it, but you and I would really enjoy it. Just go full.
I think it's time. I think it's time to address it, guys. I think we've been skirting around this issue for too long. Fandom's got to chill. Give them a movie that tells them they got to chill, you know?
Yeah, they got to chill, man. I mean, it's just like, we talked about like the New Jeans shit. Like anytime I listen to a New Jeans song now, it just makes me sad because it's just like such good music.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that Hive has released since then is just like, you kind of dismiss New Jeans for this, but anyway, to not have our comment session to go full fucking festering.
No, I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was an unexpected surprise.
And this is like me taking back to the point where I was going on that massive rant about 28 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Like
we've come full circle.
If I was a usual like grifter online and then I watched this movie and realized, oh shit, I like this movie, but I still have to say that I hate it. But then you just have to do all this really performative, you know, the fucking Huntrix is just, you know, feminist propaganda kind of shit. Like, how dare, and then the boys, they're shown as like weak and stupid, and it's, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, fuck, man. Like, I like this movie, and I'm going to admit that, you know, it's fun. It's not for me, but I can admit if I enjoyed something, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot to enjoy about this movie. It's got good music. The fight scenes are quite fun to watch.
The characters are good.
Yeah, the characters are good. I'm not a big fan of the art style and a lot of the iconography, but that's just a taste thing. I can accept that it's there. But will I watch this movie ever again? I don't know. Probably not. But I had fun watching this movie, and I was surprised, and I can admit that. Yeah.
I've been listening to the soundtrack since watching it. Lots of good songs on there. Check out Golden. Golden's good.
I haven't been listening to the soundtrack.
Soda Pop.
I'm sure it's good. You know,
Soda Pop
is a catchy song. It's probably arguably my favorite song in the movie.
Yeah, this movie is pretty fun. It's pretty funny sometimes. Not all the time, but it's pretty funny sometimes.
You know what? It's really nice to be proven wrong in this point when you're just having fun, and I think that's the joy of enjoying movies, entertainment.
Anything can be good.
Thing, you know?
You just got to put a bit of effort into it.
Just and putting twice in it
doesn't
helps
hurt
it as well.
It doesn't hurt. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you know, it's just enjoy it for what it is. And I think the internet seems to be taking to this movie well. I don't think it's that mainstream. But apparently it's number one.
It is number
Netflix.
one. It didn't start off as number one, and now it's number one. So I think word of mouth has been positive. I just hope it's not one of those things that everyone says is really good, but nobody actually watched. You know what I mean?